Today's report comes from the Public Theater. I sit down with Gail Papp to hear more about her new book and what it was like to be here in the early days as one of the visionaries and founders of this great theater. Gail worked alongside her husband, Joe Papp, for 26 years at the Public Theater as director of new plays and musicals. The Public Theater is well known around the world for developing new works of art. Shows such as A Chorus Line, Hair, The Normal Heart, and more recently Hamilton, have made their way from here to the stages of Broadway and around the world. I sat down with Gail to discuss her new book, Public Private: My Life with Joe Papp at the Public Theater.
It was kind of percolating over the years, and I think what really made me feel now is a timely era to set it down is because of the times we're living in. Maybe if I can put this story out, it might help some people understand better what we're going through, because nothing is brand new. Some of these threads of turmoil we have now existed back then and before then even. They're not brand new. So there's a way of dealing with them in the theater, say, that I thought Joe had demonstrated. In the very beginning, Joe established the idea that he would do Shakespeare in the parks in the city for free for the audiences. He wouldn't charge people to come to see Shakespeare at his open-air theater. There was a very powerful parks commissioner back then named Robert Moses, who tried to keep him out of Central Park from doing Shakespeare there. And the judges ruled unanimously in his favor that he should be able to stay in Central Park and not charge admission. The Public Theater, which started in 67 with Hair, was also a democratic idea, not based on free admission, but about free access. Free access for any actor to act anything just about. So there was no exclusion. The only basis was quality.
And that quality included actors like Meryl Streep, who performed at the Public shortly after graduating from Yale Drama School, and Kevin Kline, who performed in many early productions at the Public Theater.
Joe had the idea he wanted to have a permanent year-round theater. He discovered this wreck of a structure which was the original first free public library in New York City in the 19th century. It was a 3-story Italianate Renaissance colossus of a building. And when I first went down there to see it with him, he led us in by a side entrance. You walked into this place that was very, very dark. Nobody had been in it for years. And there were cobwebs, there was dust everywhere. Joe asked me, he said, well, would you like to work in such a place? And I said, yeah, I think it has great possibilities.
So when you walk into the Public now, what do you think?
The first thing I think of is all the incredibly hard work and disappointments and up and down. I think, my gosh, how lucky I was and how thankful I was and I am to have been there at that very special time during its birth and development, you know. And of course, mostly for having met Joe, who certainly changed my life and was an amazing person. I think, my God, I was there during this formative period of this theater that was created from scratch. How amazing is that? I never dreamed something like that would happen in my life.
To find out more about Gail Papp, check out her new book, Public Private: My Life with Joe Papp at the Public Theater.